Okay, this is Cloven. Nice signed book plate.
I love it.
Nice bookmark sent in. And this is by Garth Stein, writer, and drawn by Matthew Southworth. I'm not familiar with either of them. But
yeah, Southworth is a Facebook friend of mine. I love his art. I follow his illustration. He's pretty good.
I'm gonna say art-wise alone, it's a beautiful thing to look at. What was really weird about this? Not weird, but it's not what I expect from Fantagraphics normally. Like if you were to just like give me this book and say who published this book, I would have guessed. I might have guessed Vertigo when there was a Vertigo.
I was gonna say early Vertigo.
Yeah,
that looks like something Karen Berger would like.
Because it's definitely a sci-fi thing. I mean, it does remind me a little bit, which I haven't read, Sweet Tooth from Vertigo, just in concept, because we've got this sort of cloven hoofed sort of dude. And that's the gist of the story, is that there's these genetically mutated people with cloven hooves and, like, really strong skulls. And there's a whole backstory to the sci-fi trappings and roots behind it and stuff, but it's really more of a story about our hero, the main protagonist, sort of looking for belonging and sort of finding this group, this other group of mutants like him.
I love the cool choice of the colored word balloons.
Yeah,
that really that really makes the
that.
dialogue stand out from the page. Really like that.
I'll be honest, I didn't even take note of that. I don't think I can remember another thing like that.
But that's what makes that awesome, is that you do a subtle thing like that and it's not jarring, right? It doesn't take away from the art or the story, but there was a whole meeting about whether to do that or not. You know what I mean?
It's distinctive. It's a distinctive look. It gives a whole look to the whole thing.
Yeah, no, I love that whole package. That's really cool. I'm kind of curious about the V in the circle, because isn't that a V for Vendetta thing in the logo, the Cloven logo?
Right. Let's see.
Isn't that?
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's an anarchy reference, really.
It is. Yeah.
What
Okay.
it is, because in reality, this group that he sort of gets involved with, there's a lot of like anarchist leanings. There's a lot of
Gotcha. It makes sense for the story then. I got you.
Yeah, I think so.
Just that little V on the guy's forehead made me think of it.
And
Look at that!
Giant quadruple fold out.
Yeah, Eric paid for that. That's not cheap.
This is the Cloven guys, like in action. It really does have action, a lot of superhero action-ish type action.
Mm-hmm.
Not what I expect out of a Fantagraphics book, but also it's definitely not your standard sci-fi thing either.
Right.
With art and writing, with art, especially comic art, like you could take this same exact story and just give it to whoever, and you would get kind of a standard by the numbers looking sci-fi graphic novel, which this is not.